that was a big struggle for me. It just being like solely in my business, like just foot on the gas the whole time, burning out. It really clicked in on when COVID hit, because I was burnt out. And then we had that 2-week period where no one was doing anything.
Yeah. All you did was drink.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there, like I was living with my mom still. I was just sitting in my room, like, holy shit. Okay. Like now I have an opportunity to like reflect right now, finally. And like, let me, I don't want my life to look like this forever. Like, I don't want to be like on the transaction treadmill, just like selling. Like that 28-year-old me will soon be 50 doing the same thing.
Yeah. Welcome to the DC podcast. I'm David Chinelli. This is episode 22, if I believe correctly. And I got an amazing guest with me, an amazing realtor. I use this amazing twice because you know how much I love you. Got Matt or Matthew Campoli. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah. So you've made a pretty big splash in real estate for the short period of time you've been in real estate.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess. I like pools. I like to jump in pools.
So how long have you been in real estate?
This is going to be my 7th year this year.
Yeah. So I thought, and I see you everywhere.
That's the point.
Yeah. That's
so it's working.
Yeah. It's working.
Good.
Well, the first time I met Matt, I got a phone call to be on your podcast.
Yep.
So I researched you and I'm like, oh, you do a lot of the same stuff that I do. And I really liked your flow. And I was like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
So when I had a podcast, I had to have you on.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I love being on pods. I just like podcasts in general. I like going on, I like doing the pods. I like being on pods.
Yeah.
I like watching pods.
Yeah.
I like pods.
Well, the whole thing, the reason we're here today, we are going to talk real estate because you are an amazing realtor, but we want to talk a little bit deeper, some of the things that maybe realtors or people don't know about realtors. So we're trying to dig a little deeper and try to figure out. So it's not just all about the numbers and, how much, we get along and all the videos and stuff we do, but we are going to start somewhere. And one of the reasons why I want to have you now is because something you said on your last podcast, I think you were interviewed and it came across and it was like, you used to be shy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into that though, right? So if our followers haven't actually seen Matt, go check him out on Instagram too. You're everywhere. You're on videos, you're doing podcasts, you're talking. So as soon as that popped up and you're like, and it resonated well with me because it talked a lot about my history. I used to be really shy too. Yeah. Well, shy, maybe like not confident, I think is the better word. But you said you were shy. Like, explain how do you go from shy and to be where you are today?
It was just like a journey. I was definitely shy. I was growing up, there's like just a combination of things, but only child. I grew up in a basement apartment with my mom. So it's just like always comparing. So big comparison game growing up. I grew up in Vaughan. You know how Vaughan is, right? Yeah. All my friends had these houses, these pools, all these things. So I was just trying to figure out, okay, like there's no, that broke my confidence too. Cause like I felt inferior in a way, right? Looking back, I understand all these things now, right? And I have big goals for my mother, for my father, best parents in the world. But as a kid, you're just trying to understand, like, why am I in this basement? All my friends have these homes. So right off the hop, I was just no confidence there. Playing sports, like the no confidence led to me just not being shy. So I wasn't comfortable being myself. So in the change rooms, I just wasn't showing up. I was just quiet, playing hockey. Once I got comfortable with the kids I was playing hockey with, like I mentioned before this pod, in the practice, I would do extremely well because I had skills. And my dad was always like pissed off at me. He's like, man, you're one of the best kids on the team, but you just don't perform on games. As soon as the game came and I had to be in front of a crowd and people I didn't know, I just went into my shell, So I just suffered from that for a very long time. In school, used to get made fun of. People used to refer to me as like Franklin. Because my body took a long time to grow into my eyeballs, put it that way. Okay. So every time I watched that show, I would cringe, hear the theme song, cringe. People would come up to me at school, be like, hey, you're like that guy, that cartoon. I'm like, okay, here we go again. So it's just like, then my family would start calling me it. So it's like, every like direction, I was just getting like, just wasn't working out for me, Holy shit. So just like a massive
And they don't realize that happened, like not the eyeball thing, but too, it's like, we're going to talk about it a little later on, but like, just things that people think are funny to them, which is making fun of you, something physical about you. It's very detrimental to especially kids. And they don't realize how ingrained it gets into who we become.
Oh yeah. Every time I hear that, like I will never watch that cartoon. I'll probably watch it now.
Yeah.
because I don't care. I actually like it. He's cute. He is cute. But just
does that mean you're cute now too? You think
it definitely means I'm cute. 100%. But yeah, those are big obstacles to like overcome. And I don't think like even throughout high school, it just super scrawny, went through like that weird awkward phase growing up, you know, lanky, just like was never fitting in, you know, just late bloomer all in all. And then I found the gym, best thing in the world. That started to boost the confidence. I found the self-development world, best thing in the world, started to boost my mindset. And then things started to slowly fall into place. And I got comfortable with my own skin and ultimately realized, okay, I got to stop trying to be these people out there. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just be myself.
And when was that? When was that realization for you? Like, how old were you?
19. 19 when I started to self-develop.
Yeah, so it was like out of high school, basically?
Yeah, like I came out of high school, I did 1 year in university, then I started a barber business. Right. So, again, it's like the working out was good, starting to look better. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was like, cool, if I have a girlfriend, you know, things like that. Yeah. Started this barber business and people like started to come up to me. You know, guys like I would never speak to in high school. Like now I had value. Like, hey, I heard you cut hair. I saw you did a sick fade. Can I come get a haircut? Like, oh, this guy never spoke to me in high school. Now he wants to come get a haircut from me. Mm-hmm. So I started to take on like this, like, okay, cool. Like maybe I do have some value, right? And I started to just really dive deep into that. It was a long journey. But by the time I got into real estate at 25, I was like way past where I was in terms of mindset, being shy, all that. So big 360. And now I'm just like total opposite. Yeah. Now I'm just a goofball all the time.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens, right? Yeah. It's also sad that some people don't come to that realization. They don't get comfortable in their own skin. They don't realize they don't accept who they are, right?
But yeah, and it sucks. It's a problem because people just try and be other people. You just won't never be that person. You just won't. Like you're just gonna be yourself. Yeah. You know, like everyone out there who's performing at a high level is just being themselves. And there's people who try and take on the identity of like a mentor or a role model, and they try so hard to be that person, and then they end up showing up in a very awkward way, and people can read that.
Oh yeah, it's
right.
Fake. It's so
super
fake. Super fake.
Yeah. So it's like as soon as you can realize, okay, I'm Matt. This is just me. This is who I identify as. I'm a weird dude. Mm-hmm. I love dad jokes. They suck.
I love dad jokes.
Me too.
The best.
You know, just. I'm like, screw it. People don't like me. I don't care. It's that thing too is huge. I feel like a lot of people are always worried about what people think. So whether that's like a post on Instagram, like shit, I probably look weird, or like I have to edit my photos because people aren't going to accept me for who I am, or what are they going to say about a caption or how I dress? Mm-hmm. You know, it sucks. It's a big problem in society. I know.
Well, it's funny too. Even like a real estate, you've seen some of those pictures. Like you have a realtor. All of a sudden, they put their faces on. Which I don't put my face on anything really except the podcast. But I don't put it on like cards or signs too. But you have those older realtors, and they'll put or not even older, but you have a realtor, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, this adds this person. And all of a sudden they show up at the door, and they're like 30 years old, and the picture was from like 1985. And they're like, who the hell are you? Like, well, they're scared to change the persona. I'm like, I'm going to see you, right? Yeah. Like that was the same thing with us when we were saying about video when they first started. Like, I love how you accepted that. When I started doing video, because that was a new thing for real estate, just get in front of the camera. And I had some people go, I can't do that. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? They're like, well, I don't like the way I look. And I'm like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I'm like, you do realize we all have eyes in our head. When you're going to meet the person, they're going to see how, like, whether you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, too short. Yeah. But it's always, there's barriers, right? Yeah. Did you have that in the beginning too, when you first started doing video?
100%. A lot of limiting beliefs. Sorry, I move around. A lot of limiting beliefs for sure. Like I was that guy. I took a picture with my arms crossed because I saw every other realtor did it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, this must be a thing. Then if you learn anything about body language,
so uncomfortable doing that, eh? I've never I don't know if my arms
because your lats are huge.
Yeah,
that's why.
It's maybe. Yeah.
But if for body language 101, like you're not approachable like this.
No.
How are you going to try and gain clients? So I started to just analyze. Like people are doing videos like, here's a kitchen, here's a washroom, here's a bedroom. Congratulations, but how can you be different? So. I was told not to go on social media when I started Instagram. I mean, real estate.
Come on, who told you that?
Yeah, my broker. But we laughed about it.
That's why you left your brokerage, right?
No, not even. No, he was the best. He was honestly the best. But
he literally said, "Don't go on social media."
Yeah. He's like, "You'll never sell a house off there." Super old school. Like, but he wanted me Granted, he wanted me to go do the door knocking, the cold calling, all that stuff.
Like my original coach too. He said the same thing. Yeah,
it worked well for him. He succeeded at a super high level. This was 2016. So I don't think Instagram was even that big yet for realtors.
Yeah.
So I can see where he was coming from. But I felt like there was a void, like something to take advantage of. Like that starting early in anything.
Yeah.
Right?
You're an early adapter. You got
early adapter. Yeah. And I've had the most success in life when I've gone against the herd. So when I'm told not to do something, I'll do it anyways. That's where I found the most success. So the paths of most resistance is like the path I want to go down. So yeah, I'm like, screw it. In the background, I was just Instagram making videos. And then the day came where I got a really nice custom listing. First, I was like second year, it was like 1.3. So for me, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I was nervous as hell. And I was a second agent too. They fired the first guy. And I was like, okay, I either go with the status quo, just do a regular photo and video, or here's my opportunity, because I didn't have many listings. Here's my opportunity to make the video I want to do, something funny, right? So I did not show the seller at all. I didn't tell him I was doing it because I was scared I was going to get fired.
Of course.
Right? And I made sure like this guy didn't have Instagram, so he didn't see my videos. So I'd like sneakily made this video. I brought a buddy on with me because he was helping me sell the house, Augustus. And then I'm like, I'm going to just do some weird shit in the background. Like you do the standard like realtor, like you got 10-foot ceilings, pot lights, granite countertops. And I'm going to be in the background just doing the dumbest things because I want to just change it up. Right?
Yeah.
So he welcomes everyone. He goes in. I'm on the couch eating a banana. Relevant to all our jokes prior to this podcast. And then
viewers, you can imagine what we're talking about before the podcast, before the camera started rolling. We're sick son of a bitch. We're disgusting here. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
He goes to the kitchen and I'm like, I got some apron on that says spooning leads to forking. So it's like those little like hidden, like if you read it, you laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I have like a pepper shaker upside down. I'm like smelling a plant. He goes downstairs. He's talking about the basement. I come out of the cantina because we're Italian or cold cellar with tomato sauce. And I'm just like, and then, like it was different. That's me being me. I just like to be the joker. I like to be the goofball. And we put it out there. I was like a nervous wreck and it got the best feedback. Like it started, that's when the thing started where I started going public and people that I knew would come up to me and be like, man, I love that video. So jokes with the banana. And I kept playing on the banana for a while.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's when I started to get noticed as like, this guy's up to something, he's doing something different. He's thinking outside the box. We made a Christmas video where I literally popped out of a Christmas box as a gift.
Yeah.
Like I started to do things. I started to make videos related to real estate, but not associated with a listing. So I started to do skits and things like that. I've always wanted to act, I've always wanted to be on some sort of like, although I was shy as hell, which is a big like.
This is what I'm saying. Like, how do you go from somebody like
that was a dream as a kid.
Yeah.
I never thought I can achieve it.
Yeah.
But and here I'm like, here's an outlet where I can like kind of fulfill that dream a little bit. Let me get in front of a camera. I'm not shy anymore. Let me take advantage of this. Right. So.
Well, it's so funny. It's so true. Like that gives a lot of people hope, I would assume, that, that all of a sudden you're in this person and you can be like what you want to be if you just like basically accept who you are. Basically is what I'm hearing from you. Like you're always shy because it wasn't the fact that you didn't have this in you. You had it in you. You were just scared to show it, right?
Yeah, we're our own worst enemy.
Oh,
like we have our own limiting beliefs.
Man.
Yeah, like it's literally like you versus you for the longest time.
Yeah.
As soon as you can beat yourself, then like the world opens up.
I always laugh. Somebody said too, and it's like, or it must be over and over in TikTok, or like everyone's always worried about everybody thinks. They're like, you realize nobody's actually gives a shit about you.
Exactly.
Nobody's looking at you, like watching the video. You think everybody's looking at you like nobody fucking cares about you. Yeah. Like literally, it's like the only person really cares about you is you. So just be you.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I think we all have this notion that everyone's watching you.
Yeah.
Like everything you do about your life.
What do you mean? Everyone's not watching me all the time?
Everyone's watching.
Okay.
You can think. That's correct.
That's correct. Everyone's watching me. Okay.
You're good.
I thought so.
But like
you're
other people.
You're ruining my fantasy.
No, you're good. It's true story.
Sure. Even when I'm in the bathroom, everyone's watching me.
Yeah.
Well, especially when I'm in the bathroom.
That's why I have no windows.
No, but it's true, 100%. So now you're coming to grips with yourself, right? And getting to, but there's also a dark side of real estate we don't talk about. And it's the dark side, but there's a lot of loneliness in real estate. And we've lost some people in real estate too, like whether it's for business wise or we're just talking about like some drug addicts and things like that. Like, Do you ever has it ever happened to you, go to a dark place? Like, what was the hardest part for you, the dark side of real estate for you?
I think it was like, I'm a high achiever. So I'm very much in my business, and like really focus on my goals and my dreams. And sometimes they can get taken away from that. Whether that's like losing touch with friends or like hindering relationships or, just not, maybe like it's been like 3 days and I haven't called my mom. Like, oh, what am I doing? Like I have to just like take a step back and like, okay, these people are still in my life.
Did your mom, when you call her, say, where you been?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Italian moms. They wait for you to call them. Yeah, sorry. That's for our viewers out there. Our Italian moms, they don't always reach out to us. You call them like, oh, I'm still alive, huh?
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, sorry.
Pasta's ready.
Yeah, exactly.
But the hardest thing has just been learning how to turn off. I become so used to it and obsessed with consistently achieving. I keep forgetting about where I've gotten, and I'm a little hard on myself sometimes because, I look at like other, high level figures in the industry or just in life in general. Like, okay, I'm still not there. Right. So it's like, okay, tomorrow, like I'm done work, but I'm still at the computer trying to figure out on what I can do. Yeah. I can't be, I find it hard being present sometimes. So I've done a lot of work and I have coaches for everything. And like, I'm learning how to like, okay, time block, set up intentional sit downs or meetings or even hangouts with my friends, make it intentional, put the phone away. I'm trying to get better at it, but that was a big struggle for me. It just being like solely in my business, like just foot on the gas the whole time, burning out. It really clicked in on when COVID hit because I was burnt out. And then we had that 2-week period where no one was doing anything.
Yeah. All you did was drink.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there, like I was living with my mom still. I was just sitting in my room, like, holy shit. Okay. Like now I have an opportunity to like reflect right now, finally. And like, let me, I don't want my life to look like this forever. Like, I don't want to be like on the transaction treadmill, just like selling. Like that 28-year-old me will soon be 50 doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So like, let me start to game plan my life and like an exit strategy. So that's what I started. That was my COVID, like 2 weeks of just like whiteboarding, meditating, like what does Matt really want? Parts of that were like, shit, do I just go move and sell real estate in LA or something? Like I was like trying to think like really big. Obviously the market started to come back. People got comfortable with realtors doing showings again. And I got back into the business, but I hung on to that. And I started to really make that a big important piece of my life in terms of exit strategy, because I don't want to be that father with children slinging deals like the way I am now, not being able to be home or show them time. I can't even pet my cat sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I see my cat. He's all anxious in the corner. Like he's like, pay attention to me.
We literally just talked about this in the last podcast.
Yeah.
We were talking about, and I got mad because I'm saying like people wasting our time, because that's the only thing that we have is precious to us is time. So because that's the only thing we can't create. You can create wealth, you can create everything else, but you can't create time. So if you have somebody like, you're missing out on those times to spend with your cat, you're missing times to spend with your girlfriend, you're missing times because of some asshole. You take offense to that. Yeah. It's huge in our business. And then I was saying before, my wife schedules our dates and those things like that. It's become part of our life, but it's helped out tremendously that we're not missing out and not being present. It does help. Again, putting our phones away is a different story. Like
it's hard. Yeah. It's like easier said than done. Like
for March break, went away to Mexico. I was working on 5 deals. I just couldn't. You can't just stop. And it was like, especially the year we had this year, like February was abysmal for me.
Yeah.
Then we went away to March, and I was like, I got 3 deals in the first couple of days, and the other two, like I got the other two. But it was like one of those things. Sometimes you can't put your phone away, and that sucks. But I'm like, but I also turned, and my wife, thank God, she's an entrepreneur, and my kids get it too. I'm like, well, Daddy just paid for your vacation, so. It was only a couple hours a day, like not even every day. It was just a couple hours, but sometimes you can't turn off, and that's the hard part too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have no choice. Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. But I love it right now. I do. It is. I'm passionate. I love real estate. I love waking up every day. I love what I do. So that's a bonus. Like that's a plus. But still, I'm obsessed with the future me. And like buy my time back somehow. So still figuring that out. But
yeah. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic. My guys are saying that the mic is.
Did they give you the hand signal?
Yeah, they're going like this. So I have the signal because I have a big nose. So I say, just do this, touch your nose. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I have a big big nose. If you do this, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the eye things, I have the nose things. So that's always been a part of us.
There you go.
You ever find that, do you get lonely in real estate? Because and that's I find, like, the reason why I'm asking is, like, I don't think people realize you go to showings, you're in your car by yourself. Back in the day, we were able to pick up our clients.
Yeah.
Now you're in the car by yourself. Sometimes I went the other day, it was like an hour and a half away. I have a couple properties coming up in Stainer, which just took me almost 2 hours. I took my daughter with me once because I didn't want to be alone. But if you're showing properties, you can't bring your kids with you. Like, you're literally by yourself. You're working on deals. You're by yourself. Like, I have my assistant, which helps, but she doesn't live with me, and I can't, like, so it gets lonely. I don't think people realize that. How do you combat loneliness, or do you find it's a problem?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes, like, when in my car rides, I love doing phone calls.
Always.
I love not even business, just like catching up with like friends, shooting the shit, listening to podcasts. I love music, man. Like, I love music. I actually like to me, there's different alone times. I have my morning alone time, which is like truly my time to like reflect. No one's bothered me yet. I could do a deep dive. I do, like, I script a lot. I do a lot of writing and just like thoughts, ideas, shit like that. Daytime, it's just an absolute disaster. I'm like not present at all, just full throttle work. And then nighttime, I really like to just music, and I like to be alone. Like, I prefer to just go back into my cave and like no one bother me and just music. Like, that's my evening. Yeah. So I kind of value my alone time. Like, I don't, like, I take advantage of it. I don't like to look at it as like I'm lonely, but just to touch on your point, like, yeah, there are times where it's like, shit, like I wish I still connected with this person, or I wish I can just go do this, or come home at 5 p.m. and just watch a movie and not have to stress about what's next to eat, you know?
I find out the good thing with our business, though, what I can do is, like, you know, I'm supposed to be calling, like, you know, we're supposed to prospect with all of our, you know, people, you know, make sure you just reach out. So I find a lot of times with the events allows me to still connect with the guys, even though you're not always connecting as often. But I find that by doing our job, I'm actually connecting with my family and friends better than before when I was, you know, working the 9 to 5.
It's true. I mean, I was blessed because I had barbering. Barbering is the ultimate connecting tool.
Yeah.
They
made movies on the barbershop. Come on.
Exactly. Yes. Like, I was everyone's therapist, but I actually ended up having more friends through barbering. Like, all the people in my high school, I was closer with them after through barbering. Because, again, it's an intimate conversation. That's why I like podcasting. It's the same idea, like a half-hour intimate conversation. When I'm cutting your hair, it's just me, them, in my laundry room. Half-hour intimate conversation. So, and then just going straight into real estate, I've kind of kept that intimate, you know, close level connections with people, especially taking them on their journey to find their home. You're talking to them every day. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I always joke with clients. Like, I'll call them like 2 days after a deal's done and be like, "Hey," like, they're like, "Oh no, why are you calling? Like, everything okay?" I'm like, "No, I just miss you." You know,
you get that a lot too. So some of my clients say that to me, and they're like, "Well, now they bought a house." I'm like, "Am I going to see you again?" I'm like, "Yeah," like, of course. And then they're like, almost like, "Well, it's like," especially ones I've had for like a year and a half, and
for sure,
which is not the best for. Sometimes it's like you have a particular client they're looking for a particular property, and it's like you've been showing the properties for a while, you become part of their family. Yeah, and we talk about that. My clients do become part of my family. I think that's a special connection we have. We're therapists. We help them. Like, we'll help them with finances. Like, you know more about them than their parents know about them, and their kids know about them. It's a weird industry we're in.
Yeah, but there's a lot of realtors out there who just won't get that touch point after. They won't stay connected. Yeah. You know, like, I try my best to stay connected. If I get invited to something, I'll go. Yeah. You know, even if it does not like the most valuable part, like way to spend my time. Of course. Still want to go, or like do your calls and your follow-ups and all that stuff. So, it's fulfilling. It's like super fulfilling. I like helping people in general. Yeah. So,
well, I think that's what. Well, I think people in our industry that are successful are people that want to help. Yeah. Help in any way we possibly can, I think, right? Exactly. But what a difference from where you started, from where you are now. For helping people, you're worried about yourself. Could you imagine yourself with the shy kid trying to help people?
No
you're
chance.
Like, because what value would you have brought to them? I think in the back of your head, right? You're like, you're so shy. You're not even sure on your own abilities, let alone being able to help somebody.
Yeah, the script has been completely flipped now. Yeah. And now, like, my goals are just insane.
What are some of your goals?
I just have like some astronomical numbers on my board. I kind of see myself living nomadically, however that looks. Just a high level of like financial freedom and like passive living. Mm-hmm. However that looks, however that comes to be, I don't know. I just know it will come. I'm just kind of like on the journey now. I'm enjoying the process. in the meantime. Like, it's only been 6 years. So a lot has happened in 6 years. Can only imagine the next 6, right? Yeah. Doors are opening up all the time, right? I'm not stuck to just selling real estate either. I have other ventures I'm into. Like, I have a property management company.
Which sucks. I have one too, but I was like, I was doing it for the family. I'm like, you never get a phone call when you're a property manager just saying, Matt, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you. It's more like,
you're 100% right.
Fuck, the toilet's busted again. Yeah. Like, the neighbor's an asshole. Like, you know, the Amazon package got picked up by somebody, got stolen. I'm like, okay, like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a hard, well, I'm a landlord. I still get those calls, but
for sure.
It's harder. It is harder. Yeah. I give you that.
Yeah, it's being built out. I mean, the podcast is awesome. I'm able to travel for that.
And if people want to listen to your podcast, by the way,
price to sell.
It's an amazing
price
podcast.
To sell podcast. You'll see my face. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, like, man, like, just connecting with agents in these other cities, like, it's an excuse to just travel, bring a crew with me, see the sickest properties. I do a house tour.
I think the one you did with the blonde girl, I forgot her name. The one she's in the agency, the one you went to that did that amazing listing. Holly, yes, Holly. Yes. Yeah, because I saw her on the podcast and I saw her right before. I'm like, where were you? You just got back, because that's why you went with Holly.
In the Bahamas,
in the Bahamas.
$30 million house out there, like, right on the ocean.
You guys did pretty good skits there too.
That was fun. Yeah, I always got to throw a skit in here and there. It's a must. But yeah, just seeing the world, man. It's just like cool. There's so many, like, just a lot of life to live, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just hooked on that, and however that looks, just on my journey, you know?
How do you find your interaction with other realtors? Do you find it's like, so I find the reason why I'm asking the question, we've had to deal with older realtors, and they're very combative when it comes to us. Whereas I think our generation is more like, I know you're younger, you're a baby compared to me, I guess. I'm 45, you're what, 31?
31, yeah.
But it's like, but I'm saying younger as in, like, we've been in the industry, I guess this would be my 8th year, I guess. We approach it differently. Like, I think working together has a better deal for both sides. Everybody's happy. Whereas some of the older agents, not all of them, but some of them, all they want to do is win, 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 and just knock you down. I'm like, just work with me here. Do you find that? How do you find the working with other agents in general?
Yeah, like, I'm a big, I drop this line all the time, and it's not my line, because I never take credit for something that's not mine. But I heard it in a podcast from another agent, and he mentioned instead of competition, co-opetition.
Yes.
So it's like, so it's like you both meet at the net. It's like you're doing a deal together. It's like, listen, how can we do this? How can we work together on this? How can we make this work? You know, let's make this work for our clients, right? We both have the same end goal, right? It's to help our clients get what they want. There's no point in, like, throwing ego out there and be like, oh, like, I'm better than you. Like, oh, like who can negotiate better? Or, like,
I've been in this industry for 35 years. Man,
that's the worst. I hate hearing that thing, you know? So I try my best to, like, make a connection, build some rapport with people all the time. I think it's important, especially now. People are sick of the agents who are, like, ego driven and, like, oh, I'm better than you. I think you can go a lot further by having connections. Like, me, what I pride myself on and why a lot of people hire me is because of my connections with agents, right? Because it's like, okay, Matt, like, you can probably source me an off market. Where are you looking? Here. Awesome. I know this guy. Start making calls. Bang. Something pops up, you know, or post something on Instagram, need something here. Bang. Million realtors, because there's a level of respect in the industry and they want to work with me. They reach out. So bidding wars, best thing in the world. Knowing other agents.
I think we talked last night. I had a bidding war, which was, you know, we listed property and ended up getting 10 offers.
Nice.
The problem with that is, like, 9 people lose, and I always felt bad. I don't like when agents don't call back, don't get any transparency. So the comment I got from all 9 other agents that didn't win was like, "Thank you for your transparency. We knew exactly what was happening. Thank you for professionalism." I'm like. And another agent called me, like, he was blinded for himself. He's like, "You'd be interested." He goes, "You haven't been doing this for your whole life, right?" I'm like, "No, why?" He goes, "What did you do before?" And I said, "Well, I was an analyst. I was a treasury analyst." He goes, "You can tell because you bring a level of professionalism," where he goes, "Some of the people that just do this, like, they don't treat it like a pro. They don't treat they treat it like they don't call you, they don't transfer. They're just assholes about it too." Yeah. It's like it was weird getting compliments from other realtors, and in a good way. Like, you know, nobody's upset. Everybody knew where they stood. It wasn't an issue. There was some things that the money wasn't the main factor. It was other things. So I take pride in that, and I think that, and all the agents want to work with me again. They're like, "Listen, everything else," and that's the goal. I think that is a high. Besides, we got a new record yesterday. That's great, but it's going to be the next house for sale is going to be my record. We know that's the way the industry is going right now. But that's not the point. My clients were happy, but the other realtors were also very happy.
Yeah, I think the way you want to build, or the effort you put into building relationships with your clients, you should be doing the same with agents out there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you shouldn't neglect that. Then you're really going to feel lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our industry is great. There's so many good people in our industry. It's just like a big family. It's a lot of agents out there, but it's like a really small circle.
Yeah.
And going to events and seeing everybody, it's like, again, it's just fulfilling. Like it's amazing. Everyone's winning.
Yeah.
And nothing better than that when sharing the wins with other people in the same industry. Although we're like technically competitors, we're really not.
No,
we're really not.
Well, that's the thing is like, I remember I had sold a property for my cousins, and he had another realtor that wanted the property. And he's a big guy in this one area. And he's like, and I remember saying to my cousin, like, it was at the time I sold it. I ended up getting the listing. Obviously, my cousin sold for close to $2 million 7 years ago, I think it was, which was a lot of money. 7 years ago, it was a lot of money. And the agent said to my cousin, he's like, I need to sell your property because people want to see my name on the front lawn. And I'm like, nobody knows who you are. Like, it's not, people are not going to look at the house because of the agent. That has nothing to do. Like, that was talking about his ego. I turned to my cousin, I said, listen, do you think that's actually what people are looking for? I'm like, I'm with Royal LePage. You're with EXP. A lot of times, but like, they don't even see that. All they see is the for sale. They don't even know what company we work for. And it's like, that's the older school mentality. They put their ego first. And I'm like, we tend to not, like, I try to strive myself not to be that person. People want to see David Chinelli everywhere.
No, yeah. That's long gone.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
I feel bad for that guy.
So we're going to wrap up pretty soon. It's pretty good chat with you. Everything's good. So is there any closing remarks? So if somebody wants to get into the industry, anything you would like, or they may be shy or something too, is there anything you would do to help break out of their shell? I mean, like,
you're an entrepreneur at the end of the day in this business. So there's a lot of work that needs to go on with yourself. If, you don't have a lot of confidence or you're shy, like, getting into real estate's not going to make you unshy or more confident, even if you put a suit on. So I think everyone deserves to go on their own journey and build up their own identity, and the quicker you can do that, the better you can show up. The better you show up, the more you're going to attract. And that's it.
Any advice for people wanting to do more videos because they don't know where to start?
Get in front of the camera, even if it's shit. I leave. So if you want to go on my profile, at Matt Campoli. Scroll down until you see my first video. It's the worst thing in the world. I leave it up there on purpose because it's shit. It sucks. I was like a frozen block with braces. First video ever. I didn't even sell that house. Obviously, the video sucked. So check it out if you want some inspiration. And you can scroll up, see where I'm at now. That can be you guys too. Your first video is not going to be good. Yeah, it is what it is.
I think I did my first market update. It was like 7 minutes long. I tried to do it all in one row, and I was in the back and I had to check it on.
Yeah.
Horrible. I think it was like 7. I'm like, who's watching this shit? Nobody watched it. Nobody watched it. But it's like, okay, I did it once, and then you realize you can do it on your phone. The second thing I would say, guys, if you want to get the video, I was like, if you would, like, you can do a lot with your phone. I don't think people realize how much. You don't need any expensive equipment. Your phone is so
iPhone and CapCut.
Done. Oh yeah, CapCut. We use CapCut all the time. I think it's awesome.
That's free tools.
And if people want to follow you, what's your Instagram, or what's the best way to follow you?
Yeah, it's at Matt Campoli, MattCampoli, and then podcast at Price to Sell podcast. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for coming. Yeah, guys, if you like this content, if you want to hear more of it, please like and subscribe anywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can always follow me on David V. Chinelli _realtor. I know it sounds long, but follow Matt. I think we follow each other anyway. You could probably find me as well. We want to hear your comments as well. I think that also helps with both of our podcasts. For sure. Is there something you guys want us to talk about, or like in depth? What did you like? What did you hate? How much do you hate Matt? I think that's a great conversation piece. Right?
How much you hate me?
How much you great. Yeah. And we also like these comments. I get some funny comments on TikTok, but that's a different story.
Yeah. TikTok, you're bound to get those.
Yeah. But thanks, man. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. All right. The next episode. We'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.